welcome to another episode of Cosmos with Bailey. I'm Bailey or B, and I am a professional spiritual healer and clairvoyant psychic medium based in New Zealand. And today's video is going to be on why you do not need to focus on balancing your inner masculine and feminine energies. It's very confusing. Okay, so there is a lot of information out there about masculine and feminine, and from what I've dreamt about and what I've received, there are also an incredible amount of people out there that do not know what they're talking about. But again, that is with everything. There's always stuff out there that is not quite right, but maybe it's not. Yeah, that's okay. So, essentially, if you are wanting to work with the masculine or feminine, you are wanting to look for someone who's been trained in working with the masculine and feminine energies and is also a spiritual healer. And the reason why it's very important that someone is a spiritual healer if you want to work with masculine and feminine, and they've been trained and initiated with working with the masculine and feminine, is because masculine and feminine are energetics, and we have chakras and energy systems and energy bodies that embody masculine and feminine. This is why you are only going to get so far with masculine or feminine coaches, because they're most likely not trained as spiritual healers, so cannot give you long-lasting, really, really good results with the masculine and feminine, because it's an inner job. And when someone is being trained by the spiritual realms as a spiritual healer, they have literally been trained and have the know-how to help you embody more feminine or masculine. Like, they've literally been trained on that. I think that's really important to know. So you can have a spiritual healer who is not trained or initiated masculine and feminine, but knows what they're doing in the energy realms. But you're after a spiritual healer who's been trained in masculine and feminine. And if you're after that, I would ask your higher self, can you guide me to someone who's trained spiritually, trained in masculine and feminine, and can help me embody more feminine essence or more masculine essence? And they will also be coming from a more well-rounded and more mature place of what those energies entail and how they can help you embody them. So it's actually incredibly confusing to try and balance your masculine and feminine by yourself with two energies in your body. It's very confusing. If you're gonna, and especially if you go out online and try to read, how do I be more feminine? How do I be more masculine? It's a really big thing right now, and there are many, many different realms and insights, and people have many different ideas around it, and that's okay, you know, and each to their own, and it just depends what you're wanting. But I'd be very, very mindful about where that information is coming from, because if you ingest too much information, you're going to get really, really confused and not be able to trust in your own inner intuition. So it's super confusing if you're trying to balance masculine and feminine within you. It's really confusing. And what happens is you get very, very caught in your mind, especially if you're a female and you want to embody more of that feminine essence or express it more or bring it more to the forefront. And you're going to literally mentally try and balance those energies. So that's where a spiritual healer comes in, who has been trained in masculine and feminine, because they can work directly with the energy, your vessel, and your spirit, and helping you bloom more into that feminine essence, because they've been trained and know how to do so. Okay, so yeah, it's super confusing. Mostly when I've been trained in masculine and feminine. I have my own healing modules that I've brought down and am teaching around masculine and feminine. And in both the healing modules, when we work with the feminine, with the Venus moon, that one is based on the divine feminine, we do not work with the masculine energy. Because if you have come down and the divine feminine is the forefront in that energetic healing program, Because if you've come down in a female vessel, and you're more feminine based in your being, and you know that, you're going to want to work more with the divine feminine and enhance that more. You're not going to want to focus on the masculine. And usually what you want to do is you just want to focus on the feminine. If you're wanting to enhance the feminine, you want to focus on the feminine. It's too much. It's just too much trying to work with these different facets of energy. And usually when you start enhancing and working with the other one will naturally balance out energetically. And there's just, it's much more easier to focus on the one that you're wanting to enhance more of. In saying that, I would be very, very mindful of doing things to try and enhance that energy before you do energy work with the masculine and feminine. So it's very easy to say if you're a man and you want to be more masculine and you want to be more in charge, and someone says to you, go and hit some stuff, or go and assert yourself, or go and ask a girl out and be, get real into it and go do some boxing, it doesn't quite work, because you're still going to have these feelings that you don't feel in charge enough. Do you know what I mean? That's energetic. So you want to work with your chakra system. You want to work with your inner child. You want to integrate your inner child. You want to go pick up some energies from the past that are stopping you from being in charge in that masculine potency. There are many, many different reasons as to why you wouldn't be feeling masculine, and a lot of them are to do with energetics. And also what's going on in your energy body and your aura and the media you're ingesting and who you're allowing yourself to be told what to do. Many, many different things. When it comes to the feminine, the same thing. You don't want to go in, I will just dress feminine and I will become feminine. I will feel feminine. It doesn't quite work like that. You really need to do some energy work in embodying the divine feminine to really understand the full potency and power of the divine feminine in your vessel. For me, in my experience, in working with masculine and feminine, I am more inclined to want to be more feminine because that's my natural charge. So I want to work more with the feminine. I also do understand that you can come down in a female body and have more of a masculine charge, and you feel more comfortable in that masculine charge, and that just means that you're more dominant in your masculine energy, so you want to enhance more of that, which I think is a really amazing experience to have. In a female body. So you don't want to go too much, because when you start to try and balance the masculine and feminine within yourself, you're actually using your mind energy, and that's not going to get you long-lasting, physical, sustainable, energetic results with the masculine and feminine. You're probably going to get really confused. And so with the divine feminine, it's not all about receptivity. A lot of it's love and beauty and enjoyment and a flow state. And okay, so I'm actually just going to go and talk a little bit about the differences of embodying their energies and how they're working as well. So the feminine energy, when embodied, even if you're not actively trying to enhance your feminine energy, is very naturally different to the masculine energy and how that expresses if it's more in your dominant, if that's more your leading energy. They have very, very different energies, and they express and feel very differently in the body. So to make some confusion and clarity around this, if you've come down with more of a feminine charge, you are feminine. And you want to enhance the feminine, and you're going to feel things differently to the masculine because you're a feminine-based being, energetic being. And so how you feel and express and know yourself is very different to the masculine. But what can happen with the feminine is that we can get masculine overlays, self-protection, father wounds. We've had really bad experiences with men. We don't know the loving masculine, and that hinders us as women from knowing the feminine in that full state flow. Also, the people you surround yourself with do have an effect on your feminine essence and that that flow state. Also, the flow state is actually not as easy to get into as other people think. If you've got blockages in your chakras or your feminine energy is not flowing in the way that it should energetically, you can feel dense in your body, you can be very in your mind, you can feel a bit like hard moving, and you're not in a state of easy flow. But I also know if you're surrounded by people who are not respectfully considerate of you, they will try and overrule or dominate your natural ease and flow. I've had that happen. And so you go into the boundaries mode, which boundaries is necessary for the feminine energy. With anything on the earth, boundaries and discernment are necessary. But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show it. And in the body is the feminine. I'm going to try and envision it as an energy. It's more like it's very different. The masculine is more, he's like the rock, and then the feminine is the water. That flow, that feeling of flow, and then the masculine is a lot more sturdy in his body, and thus will experience his life force and his earth experience very different to the feminine. And we're not meant to be the same. Okay. And men also experience the emotional realms very differently to the feminine. And they experience the earth realm very differently to the feminine because they have a different energetic charge to you. Now, if you're having trouble with relationship with men, the best way, and you know you're not in the right energetics for the right man that you want, or you have a lot of problems with masculine energies, same with men, if you have a lot of problems with feminine energy and sort of enjoying the feminine energy, that means you've probably got blockages in you to feminine energy. It could be from your childhood, from your teens, from anything. And so you want to remove it. Same with both energies. You want to remove the blockages and the hurts and pains that stop you from fully enjoying the opposite energetics of who you are, if that makes sense. And it's hard to really enjoy masculine energy and really allow that feminine bloom out if you don't feel safe and loved, or you don't know the loving masculine. Same with men. It's really hard for them to open up to the feminine and enjoy everything that the energy of the feminine essence can offer. If they're closed down to the feminine, if they've had their hearts broken, they will have defense mechanisms up to really allowing their masculine essence just like, yo, yes, I want you. Like they'll have blockages for them fully expressing that masculine urge or that masculine power towards the feminine. Yeah, it's very interesting, and you can learn a lot through relationship with masculine and feminine by using your intuition and just having a little bit more awareness of your own energies and your own blockages. If you become aware of your own blockages, or you want to enhance your masculine or enhance your feminine, I have intuitive consulting and advising where you can buy 6 packages and we can work through individually helping you embody more masculine or feminine. Or if you have relationship woes, I can help tune into your energetic situation and help clarify all the experiences you've had and why you keep having the same experiences over and over with the opposite sex, because it'll be something to do with your inner feminine energetics if you're a woman and your masculine energetics if you're a man. And that's why I said going to a spiritual healer is important, because it'll be something to do with your energetics, your chakra system, your inner child. It could be past lives. There is so much more to the masculine and feminine, and if you want to be open and flowing as a woman, and why that's not going for you on the energetic realms. So that's why I say you do not want to balance it in a masculine and feminine. It causes a lot of confusion. You can get stuck in your mind. It makes everything a lot harder, and you want to keep things really simple, especially when it comes to working with feminine energy. Usually with women's intuition, you will know. And masculine intuition is a little bit different. They are also very intuitive, but it expresses very differently to the feminine. Okay. Yeah, why you don't want to balance. Yeah, you just want to enhance the one that you're feeling drawn to. And sometimes it's a really good exercise to surround yourself with men if you're a woman, and really allow yourself to become a man, and watch and appreciate their energies and how they think and how they feel. And men do feel, and men do have emotions. They just feel them very differently to the feminine. And even as a man, if you're wanting to know the feminine, go and immerse yourself in feminine energy that you enjoy. Spend more time with your partner. Really sort of allow yourself to be inundated with the feminine, or from a woman that you really love, and you'll get to know the energy more, and you'll most likely feel a lot more masculine if you're around the right feminine energy. However, if you don't feel confident in your masculine, a lot of times a woman who's really in her feminine energy is going to pick that up, and she'll most likely say something or say you're not in your integrity, because she'll be able to tell. Many things to do with the masculine and feminine. Okay, that was a very brief rundown. I could talk on this subject for a very long time. It's a big part of my spiritual work. It's very interesting. I love seeing how other people are experiencing that energy and what they're being guided to do. Leave some comments about your own experience with feminine or masculine. And the best learning opportunities for expansion into more masculine or feminine is through relationship and knowing the opposite sex. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful.